Hello and welcome to my channel. If you'd like to join any of my weekly meetings or book a private session with me, please click on the links below or go to my website. What is there to say, really, when there's no path? There's just no path. A path would imply the next moment, or something's going to happen. And yeah, it might. The next moment might happen, but you'll never find it. I've never found it. I've tried to find it. I've had goes at grabbing onto it, but it's impossible because it's just what goes on in the mind. I mean, really, I don't know anything about time. I don't know anything about anything. And there's a real beauty in that, a real freshness in that. But it doesn't mean I've understood anything. It's actually the opposite. I've stopped trying to understand. Because every understanding is just a thought, really. A set of thoughts, a set of ideas that have been imparted by someone else's set of thoughts and ideas, and we've sat there and we've taken it on board and made it into something, and then felt like we haven't really got anywhere, and therefore have somehow failed in our mission to freedom. Well, Jean-Luc hasn't failed in his mission to freedom. Have you, Jean-Luc? The stars haven't failed in their mission to freedom. And never have we. Because everything we are is all that's happening. I was going to say all that is, but I don't know that. I don't know that it's all that is. I can't say that for sure. There's only just what is. And how can it be anything but free? But for some reason we take that on personally. We think, well, I'm not free. I don't feel free, so therefore I'm not free. We trust a feeling saying I'm not free. Well, that's freedom, being a feeling saying I'm not free. Boy, it's hot. Whew. It's gone from like 16 degrees to 32 in a matter of days. So what's left when there's no path, no understanding? Well, nothing, just life as it is. But there's also this sense of this could be anything. This could be anything at all. Is it the world we know, we've been brought up in and told to believe that's real? A ball in space? In the vastness of space? Is it some sort of parallel universe? Is it a part of a multiverse? Is it a dream? Is it in time? Isn't it in time? How could we ever know? But that's the beauty. There's no more trying to understand it. Therefore, it opens up everything and leaves nowhere to go. Everything that's happening is the only thing that can happen, because it's impossible to change what's immediately happening. We can say, okay, I'm going to change it. I'm going to lift my hand up now. Next moment, lifting hand up. But it's all happening, it feels like it's all happening simultaneously. But I don't know for sure. And that's the wonderful, mysterious thing. Like this cat. It's like having a baby again. Feed, play, groom, cuddle, poo, sleep, 6 times a day in that cycle. Whew. My life's not going to be my own for the next month. It's going to belong to John Luke, isn't it? Sleepy. You had a really good play, that's why he's still. I made him very tired. And a wonderful freedom in not having to belong to a sector of a spiritual movement is that, because people often ask me, well, what about meditation? I'm like, well, what about it? What about psychic things? It's like, well, what about it? Well, is it right or is it wrong? It's like, well, how would anyone know that? If something's happening, it's happening. That's that. To poo-poo something like meditation or, I don't know, myriads of things, isn't there? You know, color therapy. I don't know, I can't think of anything. To poo-poo something is actually really rude, because how would anyone know if that is right or wrong? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter what's happening, because it's already going on. So how can it matter? Mattering might happen too, but that doesn't matter. None of it is in a scale of asleep to awake. There's no scale, as far as I can see, from asleep to awake, because where do you make the judgment? It would have to be some sort of criteria to judge another person, whether they're on the right rung of the ladder of that particular teaching. When there's only life. And that includes every single human being, every other species, every animal, every plant, every man-made object. We might have preferences towards one or the other, but that's just how it is, isn't it? You can't change your preferences. Not without pretending to. Yeah! Isn't he sweet? He's such a good boy. Goes in the litter tray and everything. He's such a good boy. Bit lazy to drink water though. I have to force feed him water. And in non-duality though, there is also so many judgments about things. Why? Everybody has personal preferences and says, well, I don't like that, but I like that. But there's such a myriad of ideas. There's such a myriad of opinions and likes and dislikes in the human. Someone might like wearing baby blue. I wouldn't be seen dead in baby blue. Looks terrible on me. You know, there's not one way. Every human being is its own unique flower or tree, or it's a unique. So nothing can be wrong. I don't mean as in we accept things like child abuse. You know, I don't mean that. Because as a human, 99.999% of us abhor it. And that's just the way it is. Thankfully. So it's not about acceptance either. You know, accepting things, that kind of nihilistic idea that I have to accept everything. Well, try it. It's bloody impossible. to accept everything. And why would you want to accept it anyway? Why would I want to accept animal abuse or child abuse? Why would I want to accept it? It feels absolutely right not to accept that. So it's not about acceptance, it's not about being right, because life just is what it is immediately. And it can't be anything but right. It's like I'm trying to skirt round the thing, the absolute obvious thing, in as many ways as possible, like all these little rivulets, all skirting around the one thing, which is this life, this chair, this table, this computer, this kitten, this voice coming out of whatever, without a thought, just happening all on its own. The sun coming through the window. I didn't make that happen. I'm not making this voice happen. Seems like it, but I'm not. If there's a thought going to happen, I'm not making that happen. Because, you know, we've all tried to stop thoughts at one point, right? As if that's something. As if that's a thing. Temporary reprieve from thoughts. Well, there's nothing wrong with thoughts. It's just the thinking there's something, that's the problem. When that isn't there, it's just, it doesn't really matter. I don't even notice if I think or not. If someone said to me, did you think yesterday? I'm like, I don't know. Probably. More than likely. In a way, for the human being, this physical entity, whatever this is, just to be normal. Just to be normal. I don't mean normal as in, you know, pie and mash and a good old knees up down the pub on Friday night. I don't mean normal in that way. I just mean to be itself, you know, without any kind of wanting to aggrandize it in search of something which is ultimately going to lead to disappointment. Hasn't every path led to disappointment? It did for me. Always. Always thinking I was a little bit there, I was a little bit closer. Oh, that was something there, I had something there. What was that? Oh, it's gone now. Always like that. So one day I saw it was all complete bullshit. The whole thing. The whole seeking. The whole Lisa story. The whole thing. Not bullshit, but just not what I thought it was. I don't know what it is, but it's not what I thought it was.